What's good, people? This your boy, Database. I haven't made a video in a minute, man, but I felt like making a video today on the subject of the Nation of Islam making a pact with the KKK. I've been hearing this, right? And I want to get to the bottom of where it's coming from, right? Now, everybody keeps saying it came out of Malcolm X's mouth right now. Now, everybody is really speaking about Malcolm X like his word is just gold. You know, like he can't say nothing wrong or do nothing wrong. You know, because he exposed so-called exposed the Nation of Islam, right? Now, I don't know if anybody else um heard Malcolm X apologize to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for something he did or said, right? So that's proof right there that the brother, the brother can be wrong about some certain things, and he admitted it, right? So why is people taking his words as like they coming from God or something? You know, I don't understand. You know, because we all human, man, and we all get upset and go up in our head and speak on emotion sometimes. Right? Now, my thing is this: Malcolm X came out with all this stuff after he was out of the Nation of Islam. Now, whether he was kicked out or he left, you know, all this stuff didn't come out until after he was out the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam. And it kind of remind me of a relationship sometimes. When a man and woman is in a relationship, as long as things is going well for both of them, everything is fine. But then, as soon as the split up come, you know, you want to slander each other. You know, oh, he ain't shit and he ain't this or she ain't this and she ain't that. Well, as long as everything's going smooth and going the way both of them wanted to go, you know, everything is peaches and cream until a situation happen, the split up come, and now you want to slander each other. So anyway, as far as the Nation of Islam and the KKK, man, you know, I went back because I listened to a lot of Malcolm X stuff in the past. Right, I even read the autobiography of Malcolm X, and I read that he said out his own mouth, like y'all say, he said out his own mouth that he's going to stop saying that it's just the Nation of Islam that's want him dead. Right? He said that um, the Nation of Islam couldn't have followed him over to the places overseas where he was going. And Malcolm X was poisoned in one of them countries, right? I don't know if y'all know about that, right? But he knew that the Nation of Islam wasn't behind that. Now, I'm not coming from a point of view um, trying to make the Nation of Islam like they is totally innocent in the whole situation because when Malcolm X got killed, he got killed in 1965. That's the year I was born. So, you know, to be truthful with you, I really can't say what the hell happened. All I know is what's been put out there, right? And I know about the CIA. I know about COINTELPRO. You know what I mean? I know about these things and how you know how tricky they are. Now, I went back and I listened to the Malcolm X and what he said about the KKK. Now, people were saying that the Nation of Islam made a pact with the KKK. Now, if you listen to this video, that's not what Malcolm X said. He didn't say they made a pact. And then he said something about he was going to try to make it look like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's plan was working, and they was going to give black people some kind of county. But we don't. I'm just going to go ahead and play it, and then I'm going to comment, so I won't screw up the words, so I can say what I really want to say the right way. So let's just listen to what Malcolm said. I'm sure y'all already heard it on somebody else's channel, but I want to analyze this myself.
With great regret, there's no organization in this country that could do more for the struggling black man than the Black Muslim movement if it wanted to. But it has gotten into the possession of a man who's become senile in his old age and perhaps doesn't realize it.
Now, that's slander right there. You say the man has gotten senile in his old age. You see, that reminds me of two people that was in a relationship, and they was in a relationship, more like a father and son relationship, but they had a falling out. This is just how I'm looking at things, right? And Malcolm X is no longer in the Nation of Islam, so now he's, I don't know. This sounds like slander to me, though, family. Now, what we got to do is find out what year this speech was made in, and then we can go back and try to find out what kind of state of mind the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was in when Malcolm X made this speech. See, that's the kind of thing I do. I try to analyze both sides, because one thing I know is that actually it's three sides to a story. Is your side, their side, and then there's the truth. You see? So right now I'm not really on nobody's side. I just want the truth. Right? So let's go on.
And then he has surrounded himself by his children who are now in power and want nothing but luxury and security and comfort and will do anything to safeguard their own interests.
Now, you're speaking about Honorable Elijah Muhammad's children. Now, that could be true, because who don't want that luxury and to be living good, right? Now, he said they would do anything to keep that. So whatever that could be, I don't know. Now that really ain't nothing really bad to me, but it depends on what you're gonna do to keep it. It's gonna make it bad. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm gonna keep listening.
So I feel responsible for having played a major role in developing a criminal organization.
Bam. Now that's what I wanted to talk about too. He said, I'm gonna play it again.
Having played a major role in developing his own interests.
He feel responsible.
I feel responsible for having played a major role in developing a criminal organization.
He feel responsible for playing a major role in developing a criminal organization. He feel responsible for playing a role in developing a criminal organization. That could mean anything. Is he saying that he is the one that developed it? That's what it sounds like to me. He developed a criminal organization. He played a role in developing a criminal organization. You see, because at first he said, man, let's just listen to this again.
There's no organization in this country that could do more for the struggling black man than the Black Muslim movement if it wanted to. But it has gotten into the possession of a man who's become senile in his old age and perhaps doesn't realize it. And then he has surrounded himself by his children who are now in power and want nothing but luxury and security and comfort and will do anything to safeguard their own interests. So I feel responsible for having played a major role in developing a criminal organization. It was not a criminal organization at the outstart. It was an organization that had the power, the spiritual power, to reform the criminal. And this is what you have to understand. As long as that strong spiritual power was in the movement, it gave the moral strength to the believer that would enable him to rise above all his negative tendencies. I know, because I went into the movement with more negative tendencies for the betterment of...
See, this video is hacked up. Just listen to it again, fam. See when it... Man, this video is hacked up. Just listen to it again.
Reform the criminal. And this is what you have to understand. As long as that strong spiritual power was in the movement, it gave the moral strength.
See, now my question is, when did that strong spiritual power stop being in the Nation of Islam? Did it stop when he left? Or did he stop when he was in it? And if it stopped when he was in it, why he wait till he get out to say something about it? That's all I'm saying. I'm just really just trying to analyze this. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, persuade nobody to think a certain way. All I know is that these two men had a falling out, right? And to my knowledge, right, I don't remember hearing anything negative coming from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's mouth about Malcolm X. Now, they asked him, was he responsible for Malcolm X getting killed? And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, no, God is responsible for him being killed. And he said something about Malcolm X wanting to carry weapons or something. I might be wrong on that, so I'm just analyzing this video, fam.
To the believer that would enable him to rise above all his negative tendencies. I know, because I went into the movement with more negative tendencies for the betterment of the community by any means.
Now, he said he went into the movement with more negative tendencies. Now, according to the movie, he was all ready to submit when he went into the movement. He was all ready to submit. Right? He's supposed to have been a righteous man when he went into the Nation of Islam. But now he's saying he had all these negative tendencies. I don't know, family. This is crazy. Now, let's continue.
Necessary. And since tonight we had to get into this old nasty negative subject, we didn't want to bring up our program. We're going to have...
Now, look how hacked up this speech is.
But as the African nation got it, we became proud of it. And when they became proud of it, we began to have something effect with it. But
somebody hacked the hell out of this video.
Mentioned conspiracy between the black Muslims and the right wing.
Here we go.
Could you elaborate on that?
I mentioned the conspiracy between the Muslims and the right wing in this country. I know for a fact that there is a conspiracy between the Muslims and the Lincoln Rockwell Nazi and also the Ku Klux Klan. There is a conspiracy.
Describe this conspiracy.
Well, the Ku Klux Klan made a deal, or were trying to make a deal.
They made a deal or was trying to make a deal. So basically he's saying he don't really know whether they made the deal or not. They made the deal or was trying to make a deal. Come on, man. Did he say they made a pact? He said they made a deal or was trying to make a deal. Man, come on, man. What am I missing?
Well, the Ku Klux Klan made a deal, or were trying to make a deal with Elijah Muhammad in.
They made a deal or was trying to make a deal. So basically, he don't know if they made a deal or not. So how can the people that listen to that young man's video be sure that they made a deal? Now, if you check the history of the Nation of Islam or the black people at first, I mean, back then, you can find out if they made a deal or not. Now, let's listen to what the deal was supposed to be.
1960, in the home of Jeremiah X, the minister in
1960.
Atlanta at that time, who at present is the minister in Philadelphia. They were trying to make a deal with him to make available to
They was trying to make a deal with him. Come on, man.
Elijah Muhammad a county, a size tract of land in Georgia or South Carolina, where Elijah Muhammad could then induce Negroes to migrate and make it appear that his program of a segregated state or separated state was feasible. And to what extent these negotiations finally developed, I do not know.
Bam. See, he don't know. He not saying that. Come on, man. This is what the KKK was trying to get the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to do. But did it happen? Did black people end up with a county? Come on, man. I don't know, man. See, this shit is just slander to me, man, and trying to make the Nation of Islam look bad. You know, from a man that was in the nation and they had a falling out. So, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Y'all can believe what y'all want to believe.
Because I was not involved in them beyond the period of December 1960. But I do know that after that, Jeremiah, who was the minister throughout the South, could roam the entire South and the Klan not bother him in any way, shape, or form, nor would they bother any of the black Muslims from then on, nor would the black Muslims bother the Klan.
Are you inferring?
Come on, man. That ain't saying nothing. Because they can roam the South and the Klan ain't going to fuck with them. Because it probably would be an all-out war if that happened. He knows this. But that's not what the pact was supposed to be. Let's go back to what the pact was supposed to be.
But as the African nation got it, we became proud of it. And when they became proud of it, we began to have something in effect with it. But
You mentioned conspiracy between the black Muslims and the right wing in this country. Could you elaborate on that?
I mentioned the conspiracy between the Muslims and the right wing in this country. I know for a fact that there is a conspiracy between the Muslims and the Lincoln Rockwell Nazi and also the Ku Klux Klan. There is a conspiracy.
Describe this conspiracy.
Well, the Ku Klux Klan made a deal, or were trying to make a deal with Elijah Muhammad in 1960 in the home of Jeremiah X, the minister in Atlanta at that time, who at present is the minister in Philadelphia. They were trying to make a deal with him to make available to Elijah Muhammad a county, a size tract of land in Georgia or South Carolina, where Elijah Muhammad could then induce Negroes to migrate and make it appear that his program of a segregated state or separated state was feasible. And to what extent these negotiations finally developed, I do not know.
Come on, man. So, where did they make the pact at? If y'all going by the words of Malcolm X. Now, the KKK was trying to make the deal with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He didn't say the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was trying to make the deal with the KKK. I don't know, fam. I don't know. See, I'm just not going to just believe what somebody tell me. Simple as that. I'm going by what I hear for myself. You understand? So, I got much love for the brothers in the Nation of Islam, man. And I've been going to the mosque, man, one time very regularly. And I never once heard them say anything about the KKK. Because if I had, I would have been stopped going. You know, now, Malcolm X is the only person that I've heard say something about the Nation of Islam and KKK. Why is that? Has anybody else that was in the nation that's out of the nation now confirmed that? Did Khalid Muhammad say anything about the Nation of Islam and KKK years after that? I don't think so. I don't think so, family. I don't know, man. Now, here it is, 2018. You got a little young brother coming on YouTube hollering about the Nation of Islam made a pact with the KKK. Good God Almighty, man. Now let's talk about the Million Man March. Man, we had. Well, I ain't gonna say we had. Well, we did because we all people. We all the same damn people. It was over 2 million people at the Million Man March. So now all of a sudden you want to make me believe that the Nation of Islam had a pact with the KKK? Come on, man. I ain't that damn foolish, man. I'm sorry. Now y'all can say I'm misled or whatever the hell you want to say, right? But I really seriously doubt if that's the case, right? Now I'm gonna go ahead and let it play to see what else we can talk about.
Because I was not involved in them beyond the period of December 1960.
You see, so all this supposed to happen while he was in there, so he wasn't he wasn't involved after December. So he really don't know. So how the hell can somebody tell me that they made a pact with the KKK? Come on, man. I ain't that stupid.
But I do know that after that, Jeremiah, who was the minister throughout the South, could roam the entire South and the Klan not bother him in any way, shape, or form, nor would they bother any of the black Muslims from then on, nor would the black Muslims bother the Klan.
Are you inferring then that because of this conspiracy, the attempt was made?
Now, check this out. He say, nor would the black Muslims bother the Klan. Bother them for what? Why would they bother the Klan? And why would the Klan bother the black Muslims? For what? When they know the black Muslims is gonna fight their ass back. You understand? Now it was only the Christians that believed that turn the other cheek and that peaceful stuff, but they all knew that the Muslims was gonna fight their ass back. Fight with those that fight with you. That's what the Nation of Islam teach, right? And the Holy Quran teach you never to be the aggressor. So why would the Muslims go down there to bother the damn Klan? And the Klan know better than to bother the black Muslims because they not gonna turn the other cheek. Man, come on.
Made upon your life?
The attempt could have been made upon my life. Ask that again.
Are you inferring that because of this conspiracy, the attempt was made on your life?
Not necessarily that conspiracy. The attempt was made upon my life because I speak my mind and I know too much, and they know that I will speak it whether they like it or not. Pardon me?
Are you urging your followers to take any actions against the Muslims now?
Am I urging my followers to take action against the Muslims? No. No.
When you say you rely on Allah,
Now, we got a lot of people that's quoting Malcolm X. and taking his word as bond. Now that cracker just asked him, is he trying to encourage his followers? No, let's hear that again because it got something to do with what's going on today. Let's play that back.
No, no.
Pardon me? Are you urging your followers to take any actions against the Muslims?
Am I urging my followers to take action against the Muslims?
Are you urging your followers to take actions against the Muslims? He said no. So, for all you people that follow Malcolm X, why are you taking action against the Muslims today? I don't know.
No, no.
When you say you rely on Allah or protecting Allah, you've always been some kind of activist. Do you still think that you're going to try to infiltrate their organization and win over some of their supporters?
Am I going to try and infiltrate their organization and win over some of their supporters? No, I have never tried to win supporters from Elijah Muhammad. Since I have left the Black Muslim movement, I've spoken at these rallies. Those who come, come. Those who don't, don't. But I've never gone out of my way to win over any of his followers. And he himself is fearful because he knows that you don't have to exercise too much energy to win his followers. As soon as they know truth and compare the two, and by the way, this is the brother, didn't even see you there, brother. This is Leon Amir, who was Cassius Clay's secretary, whom they beat unmercifully up in Boston. And the court freed the men who beat him. They fined him $100, was it? Yeah, fined him $100. And he was on the inside of the Black Muslim specialty squad. And I know it. And it was he who heard Elijah Muhammad Jr. come to New York when Elijah Muhammad was at the Armory in June of last year. Jr. stood up and told the fruit, many of whom are here now also, that I should have been killed, that my tongue should have been put in an envelope and sent back to Chicago by now. And because Fat Joseph had not done it, they demoted him. He remained captain, but Clarence up in Boston was put over Joseph. And Joseph's authority was curtailed. And then Clarence, the captain from Boston, and John, the captain from Springfield, came to New York to assassinate me and came to him to get a silencer and couldn't get it. So the police know this. It's not something that's new. They just wait until the job is done and then they step in.
Wow. Now, he made some strong accusations that they came such and such place to assassinate him. So now my question is, what happened? Was there an attempt? Did somebody shoot at him? I don't know, family. I'm just analyzing this whole situation, man. And, you know, it's unfortunate that it happened. And, you know, I know them brothers was angry, man. Them brothers was angry about the things that he was saying against the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You see, but what we got to realize, man, is that the government, man, had a lot to do with it, man. The government was sending letters back and forth. You see, all you got to do is just go to the FBI's Freedom of Information Act, I believe that's what it's called, and pull up the COINTELPRO, and you can read everything that the FBI have to say concerning Malcolm X and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You know, I'm not saying that Malcolm X is lying, but man, we just got to be more critical thinkers, man. We can't just let somebody come and tell us something without analyzing things ourselves. You know, and the only reason why I had the stance that I have now is because I heard Malcolm X apologize for some things that he's done and said. Right? I don't know exactly what that was, right? But to me, that's proof that, you know, this man might have said some things that he apologized for. Now, what those things was, I don't know. But it's letting me know that he did some things that he felt like he was wrong about. As a matter of fact, when I finish with this video, I'm going to play that one, right? So we can hear that too. You understand? Matter of fact, I'm going to play it now. All right, here we go, fam. This is Malcolm X apologizing to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, I'm just going to let it play, and then I'm going to speak about it.
Oh, yeah.
Dear Holy Apostle, Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, to whom all praise is due, whom we forever thank for giving us the most honorable and humble Elijah Muhammad as our divine leader, teacher, and guide. I want to put what I'm going to say to you on this tape for two purposes. Number one, I want to really apologize to you for having let you down, for the mistakes that I've made, especially during the past year. I want to confess my fault, confess my wrong. I want to confess my weaknesses. I want you to know that thanks to Allah.
Now, who is he talking to? You can run it back.
Oh, yeah.
Dear Holy Apostle, Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, to whom all praise is due, whom we forever thank for giving us the most honorable and humble Elijah Muhammad as our divine leader, teacher, and guide. I want to put what I'm going to say to you on this tape for two purposes. Number one, I want to really apologize to you for having let you down, for the mistakes that I've made, especially during the past year. I want to confess my fault, confess my wrong. I want to confess my weaknesses. I want you to know that thanks to Allah and you, I'm able to see myself better now. I'm able to see my weaknesses better now and my shortcomings better now. I do believe that in seeing them better, it may be possible for me to overcome them and become a better person. At least I am praying to Allah that this is the case. And above all else, I'm praying to Allah to put mercy and forgiveness in your heart. And if you weren't merciful nor forgiving toward me, I could well understand it. I've always known that Master W.D. Farad is Allah. I believe that Master W.D. Farad is Allah, and I believe that you are his messenger. I believe that your program is right, and I believe that your teachings are right, and that it was my belief in this that made me as successful as I was. Especially it was my firm belief in this that enabled me to stand up in the face of all opposition on television, on radio, before colleges, and before people out in the street at mass rallies, and support your program and present your program and represent your program. It was my faith in it that enabled me to represent it. I do believe that in seeing them better, it may be possible for me to overcome them and become a better person. At least I am praying to Allah that this is the case. And above all else, I'm praying to Allah to put mercy and forgiveness in your heart. And if you weren't merciful nor forgiving toward me, I could well understand it.
Now, what did he do so bad that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wouldn't forgive him? You see, so family, he's apologizing for something that he did or said. And we really don't know. Right? You see, so we can't be so quick, man, to just, take his word for it when he said that the Nation of Islam and the KKK made a pact. You understand? He could be apologizing for that. We don't know. You understand? So I don't know. I don't understand why would somebody put that out there like that, man. Unless they just trying to, they got some kind of vendetta against the Nation of Islam. So I don't know, man. I'm just not going to believe anything that I hear on YouTube, right? When I can, make up my own mind. Just because somebody tell me that the Nation of Islam made a pact with the KKK, I'm just supposed to believe it. And if I don't, I'm being misled or whatever. Because like I said, I've been to the mosque, Nation of Islam mosque, plenty of times and never once heard them say anything about the KKK. So, I don't know. Like I said, y'all can believe that all you want. I just, wanted to make me a video, man, and, you know, speak on it myself because I'm just ain't falling for it. I ain't falling for it. And I really want to know, man, why is somebody coming out with this stuff now in 2018? This shit happened back in 1960s, right? Before I was born. So why would somebody use this to try to make the Nation of Islam today look bad? I don't know. Especially when, I keep speaking about this Million Man March thing, man. And when we was in D.C., man, 2 million strong, man, there was unity that day. I mean, is that the reason? Because it was the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the one that made the call for that? That all this hatred came about for that, man? I don't understand, man. I really don't. So, let's see if there's more on this apology, man. Then I'm going to wrap this thing up.
I've always known that Master W.D. Farad is Allah. I believe that Master W.D. Farad is Allah, and I believe that you are his messenger. I believe that your program is right, and I believe that your teachings are right, and that it was my belief in this that made me as successful as I was. Especially it was my firm belief in this that enabled me to stand up in the face of all opposition on television, on radio, before colleges and before people out in the street at mass rallies and support your program and present your program and represent your program. It was my faith in it that enabled me to represent it.
See, now he's admitting that if it wasn't for the Nation of Islam, he wouldn't have been the man that he was. He's admitting that to you. So, I don't know, man. I got one more video clip I want to play, man, before I wrap this up, all right? Hold tight. Okay, family. This is a clip of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad speaking about Farrakhan when he said everywhere he advised you to go, go. Everywhere he say stay from, you stay from. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this clip up is I have the question, when did the Honorable Elijah Muhammad change his mind? Because now you hear Honorable Elijah Muhammad saying this out of his own mouth, like people like to say. Now, I haven't heard nothing yet, right, where the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has changed his mind. A lot of people say the Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't choose nobody, or he chose his son or whatever. But I haven't heard the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say that about nobody but the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So I'm going to play this and then I'm going to wrap this up and just ask the question, well, when did he change his mind?
I want you to remember today I have one of my greatest teacher here going along. What are you hiding behind there? Take them over 3, 4, brother. Come on out here where they can see. 'Cause 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 today our great national preacher, the preacher who don't mind going into Harlem, New York, one of the most worst towns in our nation, our city. It is our brother in Detroit and Chicago, New York. But I want you to remember, every week he's on the air, help me to reach those people that I can't get out of my house and go reach like he. I want you to pay good attention to his preaching. His preaching is a bearing of witness to me in what God has given to me. This is one of the strongest national preachers that I have in the bounds of North America. Everywhere you hear him, listen to him. Everywhere you see him, look at him. Everywhere he advises you to go, go. Everywhere he advises you to stay from. So we are thankful to Allah for this great helper of mine, Minister Farrakhan.
Now, family, this speech was made in 1972, and I haven't heard anything yet come out of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's mouth where he changed his mind. Now, this part of this little video is for, certain Muslims that's saying, certain Muslims that was in the Nation of Islam, that's not in there now, and tried to start their own new Nation of Islam, or Temple number 15, that say that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't choose Farrakhan. Now, he didn't say that I choose Farrakhan to be my successor, but he did say, wherever he tell you to go, go. Wherever he say stay from. So, I haven't heard Elijah Muhammad change his mind on that. And if he did, please put a link in my box and let me hear it for myself. You see? Because I'm not going to go on just what somebody say. I like to try to, check things out for myself. And I encourage the people who ever listening to this video, I encourage you, man, to analyze things for yourself, man. Because you never know the angle that somebody might be coming at you with, Now, why would I listen to somebody that just hate the Nation of Islam like that? Because if I hate something, I'm certainly not going to have nothing good to say about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta analyze the people that's giving you the information, right? And what's in their heart. That's all I gotta say, man. Peace, man.